When people talk about California history, Northern California rarely gets the hype that it deserves. Most people focus on San Francisco high society, Napa Valley wines, or the old Sierra gold mines, but the actual engine of the political and agricultural scene started right here by people who saw the raw potential in the land. And I'm just gonna say it, my great-great-great-grandfather, William Johnston, was a NorCal pioneer who was a total powerhouse. He was born in Pennsylvania in 1829, and when the 1849 gold rush hit, he decided to head west. But he didn't just bring his ambition at the young age of 20, he brought his values. He was an original, fierce, anti-slavery Abraham Lincoln Republican, standing up for those principles right as California was deciding what kind of state it was going to be. Just like thousands of people back then, he made that grueling journey across the country by covered wagon, just like the classic stories of the Old Oregon Trail and the California trails. But while everyone else was destroying riverbeds, chasing fool's gold in the mines, William realized that the real wealth of California wasn't in the gold, it was in the soil. By 1850, he made a bet on the Sacramento Valley, and he never looked back. But he didn't build his legacy alone. In 1854, he married Elizabeth Height, who in her own right was a fierce California pioneer. They stood side by side as they conquered the valley, building a family and a literal empire together. To fully understand the scale of what they built, you have to look at the Sacramento River Delta, specifically down around Hood and Richland. In the 1870s, they established Rosebud Mansion. This wasn't just a homestead, it was an agricultural juggernaut stretching across 1,200 acres with over 2 miles of direct frontage along the Sacramento River. They built a deep water shipping dock right on the property so that fresh fruit, produce, and grain could be loaded straight onto the steamboats bound for San Francisco and the northern gold fields. Right at the center of it, they commissioned architect Nathaniel Johnston to build this grand Renaissance revival and Italianate estate. It's so historically significant that it's officially registered on the National Register of Historical Places to this day. But here is where the story gets incredibly cutthroat: their dairy operation. William built a herd of over 100 prized purebred Jersey cows. Their butter and cream became so famous across Northern California for its elite quality that it commanded premium prices. And the locals were furious. Local farmers were so jealous of his success and so desperate to ride his coattails that they kept trying to copy him and steal his branding. It got so intense that in 1897, William had to march into the California Secretary of State's office and register this exact trademark. This trademark is number 2,979, and that was to legally lock down his brand name and stop competitors along the Delta from ripping him off. He was completely dominating the market. And he didn't just rule the dairy world, he helped write California's actual laws. He went into public service, first in the state assembly, and by 1879, he was elected the California State Senate representing Sacramento. This was a massive turning point because 1879 was the exact year the state adopted our state constitution. My great-great-great-grandfather was right in the center of that chaotic transition, rising to become the president pro tem of the Senate, which is basically the Speaker of the House, but for the Senate chamber. He was the absolute head of the Senate, wielding massive legislative power. Right after that new constitution passed, he was brought onto the newly reformed State Board of Equalization, establishing the very tax and property frameworks that California built its modern economy on. He then went on to direct banks, lead the Masons, and anchor the Delta community until he passed away in 1905. When we talk about the architecture of California's systems, we're talking about the legacies of the NorCal pioneers who built it from scratch. If this is the first time you've heard of William Johnston, hit the like button right now. And if you have somebody in your lineage who is a total badass pioneer, drop their name and their accomplishments down in the comments and let's talk about it.